for cleaning everything out and everything, like getting the shit out of your system. Ugh.
We're back to Half-Life again. Sorry it took so long today. I had to get some homework done. Was that a bomb?
Oh, you actually heard that? That was my phone. I've got it. I've got that set up as my notification sound.
Nice.
So now, whenever I get a notification, it feels like my phone's talking to me. Yay!
Nice.
So we're happy. We're hopping back into Half Dead. Sweet.
We're hopping into Half-Hizzle.
Please, leave me alone until after the test.
So we're hopping back into Half Dead. Sweet.
They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber. Please, leave me alone until after the test.
I heard the playback on that, and it got a little digital sounding at the end.
Stop, I need to hear myself.
Okay. Don't yell at me.
Alright, we're good to go. Yeah.
Don't yell at me.
Dang, we're only an hour. We're not even an hour in, and we're already at the complex. Oh, look at this. We got the shotgun.
I've got to say, reliving this and, playing it again, it makes me realize this game's not as long as it seems, but when you were a kid playing it, it seemed like it took so much more time to play,
It's not a 6-7 hour game. Ugh.
I remember once I stayed up at my dad's house back when he was living in Kingsport. We had no internet or whatever, but we still had games on Steam, so I just randomly whipped out Half-Life, and I'd say it took me about an estimated... Now, nobody quote me on this, but I'd say it took me an estimated 40 minutes to reach Zen.
How do I get out? Where do I go?
Okay, let me see. For some reason, the graphics quality's looks a little jank in some areas, and then it like clears up. Give me a sec. Let me see if I can.
Oh, I gotta go through this one.
The streaming quality 720p, 30 FPS. Oh, that's weird. It's just like every now and then the pixels kind of get a little janky. In order to get into that supply closet, what you have to do is you have to wait until the zombie scientist breaks himself out, and you can get some like extra supplies from that room.
So where do I go from here?
Okay, turn back around. I'll help you out here. Go through that hallway.
The one I just came through?
Yeah, go back through this hallway.
It's the room with the electricity, isn't it?
Yep, you're gonna have to try and guide yourself without touching the water and electrocuting yourself, and get to that little grate over there. What you want to do is, once you reach that table, you'll want to turn the lights off, which will de-electrify the water, and you can climb through the... There you go. Oh, took a little bit of damage from a hit. Kill the lights, and then turn on your flashlight and go through the vent on the wall. There you go. And a couple head crabs in the ventilation system, not a problem. Easily dispatched. Okay, need a lighter. For this section, it's an easy puzzle. Just duck down so you don't get your head chopped off by the blades. And Bob's your uncle. You made it through.
So did they.
Indeed, they did. Now what you'll want to do is you'll want to take the boxes and head up there. See, I'm not even really helping you. You're figuring it out yourself.
Yeah, because I played it now. I just forgot where to go.
Take the small box. There you go, champ. You got it. You did stuff. Congratulations.
Remember one time my dad was like, you don't need to listen to your brother playing games. He plays games that ain't even that good. Like that Half-Life, there's only 2 games. And I'm like, what? Ah! No!
Well, that's one way to disable the turret. The fun way is just going underneath it and flipping that switch.
Oh.
Disables the turret system.
Oh, I did it my way.
He did it his way.
Let's turn it off.
It's a bit late for that.
My God.
Oh, these poor scientists. And just to think, they came in on that particular day, expecting another regular day of work. And
Yeah,
then,
don't we all though?
that's usually how it is when crisis strikes. One day it's a regular day, and then the next thing you know, you and your colleagues, well, mostly your colleagues, mostly your colleagues and associate friends just end up dead. It's like, what
Ah!
the it's like, maybe I shouldn't have gone into work today. It's like, what's the worst that could have happened? Oh, wait, this.
At least
I mean,
ammo.
it's like,
Barney!
I mean, it's like, I could get fired, but I mean, how can you get fired if there's nothing to get fired from, right?
I killed him.
I mean, I'm making a really valid point. You know, the sad thing about having that viewpoint as a valid point, it's like if Gordon Freeman hadn't gone into work that day, he would actually have lived through. He would have actually lived through the 20-year gap to see the 7-year war happen.
Who?
Gordon Freeman. It's like, just to think, if he hadn't boarded that tram that day and been in the Black Mesa dormitories, if he hadn't participated in that experiment,
Yeah.
he'd still be fucked, because 20 years later the Combine would have found another ulterior method to cross into the Border world.
Ah! Ah!
It's like, realistically, in the Half-Life universe, we would have been fucked either way.
Ah!
You shouldn't be talking like that, you just a boy. Wheelie got, wheelie got. Now, this might sound biased coming from me, but I kind of wish the Vortigaunts had remained as an enemy species.
Same. I thought it was weird.
Now, if we could have actually seen the Vortigaunts fight...
Yes!
Oh, poor Wally. He didn't deserve that. He was a good scientist.
Wait, he didn't die. He's right there.
I know.
It was a trap.
Poor Wally.
Wally, get back! They're here for your anus!
It's like, even though he survived, the narrator just kind of accepts his fate like poor Wally. He was just one day from retirement and got snatched up by a barnacle that somehow regurgitated him. But the narrator decided to seal his fate and accept death, even though it didn't come. Poor Walter the Wuss. He thought to himself, maybe I should have just been accepting of the fact that the science team wanted to dunk my head in the toilet today. Instead, I got eaten by a barnacle.
We got 2 scientists! 2!
Count 'em 2.
Glad to oblige you, fellow scientist.
Let's go!
I think it'd be cool if you could actually, have like a scientist follower. If you find a gun laying on the ground, you can give it to him. That would be a cool gimmick. Now, don't get me wrong.
Need medical attention right away. Let's try this.
I do know for a fact the scientists actually can equip weapons, because in one of the later cutscenes you'll see an Isaac Kleiner model that points a shotgun at the door before you come in. It's like, oh, so the scientists are smart enough to grab a weapon.
You're going to have to
It's just it's an asset that's never used in combat.
He did.
Don't know what that means. The stream you're viewing currently has reduced video or audio quality. This may be due to... And it just disappeared as I was reading that. Thank you.
So it fixes this. Ah! Come on, you fucks.
Hey, stop that! I can only take so much and no more. What do you want written on your tombstone?
He's infected!
The one thing that I noticed about, like, the further you go through the facility, the worse things look like they've gotten.
Yeah. He won't break. He's made out of metal.
It's probably because his entity is intertwined with the table.
But I was able to kill the other scientist.
Excuse me.
Where do I go? Oh.
It's like, in what little amount of time after the resonance cascade did they have time to board up that door and all that? I mean, it's like, for example, these poor bastards, they got converted and they're eating their fellow colleagues now. it's like it doesn't exactly leave too much imagination to what happened to the guys that boarded this place up. There they are. They're dead. They sought shelter in the wrong place.
Get away.
You saved it in his life. Now use him as a medic mule and then kill him. Which you're probably going to.
Why, just look at those peculiar markings. Yes. I'll wait. You've been wounded. Let's try this.
Thank you. You had to die, folks.
Now, fans, just for the uppity up, I did not convince him to do that. He was going to or not going to. That's the decision. Is Thomas Freeman truly a madman? We will never know. For every death that follows in his wake, you have to ask yourself, was it intentional or self-defense? The world will never know. This is his story. Da-da. Ossifer,
All these bloodshed could have been avoided. But I decided to eat.
You know, the cool thing about this room in particular, there's actually a little featurette that you can do with the bull squid. You can break those little meat things on the hooks, and what it'll do is it'll spill meat on the floor, and you can actually feed the bull squid.
Savage!
That was like a little feature they put in there to show you just like the resistance of, or well, the limitations of the NPCs. So like, let's say you gib an enemy or something with like your crowbar and a bull squid's still alive. It'll actually investigate the gibs and it'll eat it. This game really was ahead of its time back then. Oh, I need to check my iBob. Somebody messaged me. My iBob.
How the fuck did the barnacles get in here?
I have to imagine I'm probably going to sound like a science nerd here, but more or less, I imagine when the portals opened, I imagine when the Nihilith opened the portals, the positions of the barnacles and stuff, they probably got teleported from where they were currently hanging and soon adapted to the environments of the ventilation systems.
Thanks a lot, dickhead. You could have opened this door earlier.
Basically, in the short time period, they had like a... They probably adapted to Earth's atmosphere and had a very quick gestative period to where they could, you know, grow in ventilation shafts and on the ceilings. I'd like to think that the barnacles, back on their native planet, they're probably not hostile. They just eat whatever happens to land in their vicinity.
I think that's what's up with them, honestly.
If anything, they seem like a semi-non-invasive species that would more or less leave you alone as long as you stayed away from its tongue.
Did you see the one scientist like jump to the window?
Yeah, he was always one of my favorite NPCs because he was the one scientist that had the balls to get out of an area and not do it like a wimp. And that guy right there, I always felt sorry for him. It's like, realistically, despite everything, there is no saving him. He's going to fall.
I've been shooting forever.
Because he's an NPC with a scripted trigger. Once you pass a certain threshold, he'll fall.
Look, man, I'm just trying to help you out with this.
He begs to differ.
I do too.
Once you hit a certain threshold, he'll, realistically, we all know how he works, but it's gonna be funny either way. That's what I've always hated about certain games and stuff like that. They give you like this certain level of urgency. It's like, maybe I could save the guy, and it's like, no, you
Oh
can't.
no!
Oh my god, we're doomed!
Oh, that poor bastard. Well, he's gone. It looks like he was still shooting.
He was.
Well, he's dead now.
HVAC. Ah, fuck.
Oh boy, now we're dealing with turrets. Pretty soon we'll be introduced to the Heku Marines. This will be fun. You want to know what's actually sad about the Heku Marines? The motherfuckers didn't even want to be here. They're just on a mission placed by the government to silence everyone in the facility. There actually is one scene in particular in this facility. It's like much later on that you actually hear the soldiers talking amongst themselves, and it's like, I didn't sign up for this shit. Aliens, that's one thing, but civilians, it's not my pay grade. It's like, if this isn't in your pay grade, why are you...
No!
It's like, dude, if this isn't in your pay grade, why are you still trying to kill the protagonist and the scientist then?
Sure.
It's in our programming, sir. Just doing my job, sir.
Jesus, make it stop.
I hate to say it, but realistically, you're bald. 4 health. Come around that corner, you're dead. Oh my god. Lucky. Let's see if you can have some fun with these turrets around this corner. Oh, good shot.
Ah!
I love the fact you made your camera drop like that. It's just like, oh shit.
You got busted. Birds.
I'm not gonna lie, the freaking Forticons as an enemy, they were savage.
Yeah, they're annoying. What the fuck?
Dude, the AI for the sentry turrets is unforgiving. It's like if you don't find a way to freaking disable one, those things are beastly.
Alright, folks, we're gonna go over to Mortal Kombat.
That was a fun transition.